So the rain earlier in the week could not keep me out of Universal Studios. However, unfortunately, it did keep the knots out of me. So now that it's finally stopped raining, we're going back to the farm and we're going to see how, in fact, the park handled the torrential downpour that we just had the last 3 days. It is a very seasonably chilly Wednesday morning, so a little bit of a different time of the week that we're coming to the park. And we all know that the weather, the park being open is always weather permitting, so we're going to take advantage of having the day off from work and go in and just kind of take a look around. Peanut celebration still going on. Maybe try to take this opportunity to try the mac and cheese burrito or something of the sort. Thought a bird pooped on my hand, but no, just water. It is still a little cloudy in the sky. The sun is threatening. The sun is trying to come out, but the clouds just aren't letting it. If you go, I'm assuming that if you look, there will be sun eventually at some point today. I promise that. But the clouds don't want to go away. Which, look, it's winter. Who doesn't mind a little weather? But first, we're going to go check out the hotel and see if they were able to get anything else done before the rain started on Sunday, and just how much that pushed the project back, or if they still look like they're on track or not. Still very wet outside. Sometimes when they close the park because of the elements, they will keep the marketplace open. This week was not the case. The marketplace, I think, was open on Sunday, but it was closed yesterday and Monday. So none of the park at all was open. So this is kind of the first day. They kind of had a little weekend off. So this is kind of like their Monday. So I'm sure they're so excited to be back. See, I told you the sun would come out. It was only a matter of time. I was looking at all the deconstruction of the depths here, and I noticed that in the back there, you've got the facade to the front of the waxworks maze that takes up the warehouse to the right of us here. They did not do this last year. So does them taking that off mean that they're going to have something new where waxworks was this year? So will we get 3 new mazes? Because they've already said that they're going to lose the depths and dark entities. But nobody ever said anything about waxworks. But they took that facade off, and they finally took this fence down here. So now we get a little bit closer look of what this back courtyard looks like. They got the little fire exits here, and this wall goes along the side here. So looks like they replastered the pillars, and probably just going to put some trees and stuff up here. Yeah, this is basically the norm now. You still have to go in through the side. The front entrance isn't open yet, but this lobby is basically open, including this sweet staircase that I'm going to go down. We'll go look at the outside and see what that looks like. They even have this bar here, the little cafe. It looks like they're training there. So that should be open soon too. Nice. The inside of the courtyard. Doesn't look like I'm going to put roofing on the patio above us, but it's kind of odds and ends now. Oh, and those, so we found out what those buckets were that I was asking about a few weeks ago. They go here. The decorations for here, not the restaurant. Also, the pool is open, guys, but yeah, good luck. It's cold out here. And there is the entrance. They're finishing up the facade. It looks like they've got it almost done. The little baseline of the pillars there that are holding it up. They are still working on the paving on the pathway for the road. It doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything involving that today. They don't have any of the jackhammers or the dump trucks out here. But and they also don't have, it's not like an all hands activity out here today because they're probably still recovering from the rain. There's a lot of stuff going on inside the lobby as well, so they've got a lot to finish up there, and then they're finishing up the courtyard and stuff in the back. But this entryway looks so much better than I even thought it was going to. So what we're probably going to have now is probably the fireplace in the restaurant, the little fire pit area there. We'll probably also have this sort of like rocky kind of exterior, but that looks so good. I'm so impressed. That's so exciting. It looks like something you'd pull into like up in Big Bear or something. I cannot wait until this whole roadway here opens up, and then we get to see it with the cars and the valet and the restaurant, and it's gonna look so cool. I'm so excited. Look at the amount of lighting they have up around the outside area of the restaurant too. It's just lighting all the way around. I wonder if that's going to be a dim lit thing. I would imagine it would be kind of dim lit, almost like a candlelight kind of vibe, right? With the low intensity kind of flickering across there. But either way, that's a lot of lights. All in all, everything that the hotel is doing right now is spot on. Hold on, what is this? Hold on, we're gonna go look at something real quick. We're walking by and I just saw this. It looks like a Scary Farm sign. That's a little Scary Farm sign from, I don't know. There's a boysenberry one behind it too. Something I noticed, thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, the hotel, the project it's almost done. It's basically at odds and ends time. They got to still do the path under the path under the entryway, and then that part will be all done. So they're, even with the rain, still looks like they're on schedule. Everything is fine there, and it looks fantastic. I cannot wait till we get that logo right there. We need that logo. I've been clamoring for that logo. The only thing I wish that they had done that it doesn't look like they're gonna do, that's not a huge deal, but I wish that they would have replaced the sign with something crazy. I get that actually seems a little counterintuitive with the vibe that they're going for, with like an old town Americana woodsy type vibe. So yeah, probably a giant Vegas LED sign out front, blinding people as they drive by, wouldn't be the best idea. Anyway, let's go through the turnstiles and see what's going on inside the park now. Also, something that I've completely overlooked and forgot, just completely neglected to mention in the past, because the hotel has the upstairs lobby area, the third floor event room open now. That's where they're doing the buffet now. So not back here at Mrs. Knott's anymore. It's now all in the hotel again. Now we wait at the front gates. It's 10:35. Now we wait at the front gates for 11 o'clock for them to open. So I think before I do anything else in the park, I'm gonna do something I've been jonesing to do for a little while, and that, of course, is to ride Ghost Rider, because I missed it. I missed Old Girl. And obviously when it's a walk-on, you cannot pass something like this up, right? And it's a good thing we rode the first train, because now we're stuck here. It's broken down. They half-loaded the other train and then they emptied it off. I don't know what they're doing. But these trains are still soaking wet from all the rain, and my butt is cold. This is like the one time a year where this little section here isn't just blockaded by a bunch of little kiosks and little shops and stuff. It usually starts during Boysenberry Festival and then goes from that to Summer Nights to Scary Farm to Merry Farm. And it seems like Peanut Celebration is the only time where they don't have all those little shops out here. So it just looks really, really big because you're not used to it. And then the second you get used to it being really, really big, they bring those shops back. And the true off season is finally here. Oh man, where'd all my friends go? Well, I'll be super brief on the speculation on this ride. A lot of people noticed that in the new KNOTT app, they do not have Montezuma on the map at all, even as like it was in the old app, how it said like under extensive refurb or something. And that's leading a lot of people to believe that the ride's probably going to go away. I'm still not going to sway either way. I'm not really leaning one way or the other here. I just wish we would know one way or another, because I think waiting is always the hardest part, right? So knowing if we were going to have this or not going into the future would be much more comforting than not knowing at all, whether they were going to get rid of it or not. Even if if they're going to get rid of it, just tell us and we can move on. We can have our proper memorial and then move forward.
Please put away your cell phone. Please put away your cell phone.
You see how they don't mess around with the phones, man. Just so you guys know, they all have, there's cameras on every single one of these lift hills, and they'll shut the, I'm surprised they didn't actually just stop the ride completely to have him put his phone away, because they do that a lot now on like all of these rides. They crack down big time with phones on the ride, so just kind of take that as you will. And with that being said, let's see where they are with Camp Snoopy now. Looks like the Ferris wheel is still just going down piece by piece. I'm assuming probably in like a week or two it'll be completely gone, and then they'll start work over this wall here on the Happy Swing. It looks so wintry over here with the clouds. These trees always do a great job of kind kind of translating to what season it is. They blossom really well in the spring and they provide a lot of shade in the summer. And in the winter they get old and crackly. So this is something I don't think I've actually ever seen. They shut the river off. This kind of makes sense as they're gonna start doing their work probably on the meet and greet section here really soon. But the waterfall and the river are completely shut off. And I don't know when the last time was that I ever saw that, if I ever seen that. And as a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's eerie. So I'm wondering how they're gonna do this. I think they're planning on putting the kayak up there, but I don't know how it's gonna fit. Maybe they kind of lean it over the corner, like so. I don't know, but they're planning on putting the kayak there so it's in the background of the pictures that you'll take with the Peanuts characters right there, right about there. Ish. So as we expected, you know, the rain is going to shut down all the work on the Tender Paw coaster. I'm expecting them to not probably resume this project for a few days, maybe after the weekend. You can see back there, there's a big old pond of water. So they've got all the tractors back there parked and stuff, and I would imagine that a lot of the work is probably going to be done on the other side of this waterfall too, right now, if they're going to do anything at all. They got a long way to go with this. They're obviously still digging, so this is the kind of the part where you really can't screw it up, because after they're done with this, there's no going back. Looks like they also removed all of the characters from the Grand Sierra Railroad. So what comes after this? They removed the characters and they've kept up the landscaping, so nothing's different there. Just these guys all missing. We are getting people back here in the theater though, so they are working there, even with these giant puddles of water. Not sure what they're doing, because there's no tractor work or anything going on back there, and it looks like they still have a long way to go to actually smooth this dirt out. But they've dug such a deep hole, such a deep trench back there, that I'm assuming that they're going to kind of slope it up to put the benches on. So it'll be kind of a sunken, the stage will almost be even with where we are now, and it'll be kind of a sunken house, as it were. They've also tarped off the front of the Camp Snoopy store. It looks like I don't think they took the clock and stuff off. I think they were just protecting it from the rain. But yeah, I would assume that they would be keeping that whole facade there, unless they're changing that too. It's still so quiet without the train running, but they're working on it, so that's a good sign. Keeping it up. And ironically, one of the only indoor rides that they have at this park, or is it the only indoor ride they have at this park, is the one that's shut down after the rain. Oh, Berry Tails. How cranky does the weather make these guys? That's the question I'm asking.
Take your fingers off that key.
We've heard this before. I already know what he's going to say. Forget this guy. So yeah, it looks like they've moved on to the other side now. This whole thing is broken up. But there's most of the attention is back here, just in this little section. So I don't know. I don't think they're planning on replacing the whole track like I originally thought. It might just be this little piece of track. They've got a Bobcat over there. It's the same one that they've been using. Yeah, they're replacing just the other side of the track now. Muy interesante. Well, let's see what the boardwalk looks like this early in the morn at 11:45 in the morning, actually. Not too early in the morning, but still. Well, everything is going. Every single ride is going. So that's a good sign. They're at full strength over here now, especially with the accelerator up and going too this morning. Everything is available back here in the boardwalk. That's good to hear, and it's good to see. In fact, it's one of those days where, because everything is open and the crowd is so low, I walk by these rides and I feel like half of them are closed down because there's just nobody riding them. You know, accelerator's only half full right now. But yeah, I thought Supreme Screen was closed too because it wasn't going anywhere. Just because there's so much to do and not enough people to do it all. Well, right now I want to go to Fake Chipotle and get myself a mac and cheese burrito. By that I mean psych. Not waiting in a line for Fake Chipotle. So instead, we'll head across the courtyard to Papa's Mexicanas, get some of that Jose Peterson Swedish meatball with the mac and cheese and french fries. There you have it. Meatballs and some mac and cheese and some cilantro and some fries. I'm gonna try this little ditty here. Oh my gosh. It's too much mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is super good. The meatballs, I don't know how to feel about the meatballs. And the seasoned fries are just gratuitous. Either way, it's fine. You can definitely see all three of my kids enjoying this. I wish they put more mac and cheese in it. It's mostly fries with just like, but
oh my gosh, it's too much mac and cheese.
In their defense, it says topped with mac and cheese. and meatballs. So being mostly fries is kind of what the fry stand stands for. And today for the Jamboree, they got Schroeder. Linus last time. Today it's Schroeder. Came with a log ride to see if they were pulling up any more plaster from the flume like they did last year, but it looks like all the work for this is being done inside this time. Again, a normal refurb. This will probably be opened back up again when Boysenberry Festival starts in March. It's nap time for these guys now. Not nearly as rambunctious as they were last week. Pigpen's here too. So once again, KNOTT's proved that even in the rain, they can move forward. Very impressed with how the hotel looks. Very impressed with how Camp Snoopy just keeps chugging along. These projects are going to help make this kind of a milestone year, I think. And I really hope that people see this as a success when it's all done. And I hope that Cedar Fair Six Flags sees this as a success when it's all done. I am actually going to call right now that this summer is going to be insane. I think on the level of Merry Farm, it's going to be insane. I think the tides are changing a little bit. While it looks like nothing right now because it's the off season, this is usually the slowest that it gets throughout the year. I think once Boysenberry Festival is over, we're going to see a completely different summer. My hopes is that the next project that they do is, if it's not an expansion to Calico, which I think that needs to be a top priority. My hopes is that they do something more here. There's a lot of room to expand this park. Soak City, the last 2 years now, and they announced a few weeks ago that it's going to be open for almost 6 months this year. I think that right there is an example of supply and demand. I think people wanted more of Soak City, and they got more. And I think we're gonna see some big numbers pulled at these gates, and hopefully that will help Cedar Fair to make the decision to start working on this park next. I'm very excited and have great personal ambitions for this park, and for Magic Mountain as well, but mostly for Knott's Berry Farm. I think there are big things on the intermediate horizon for this park, and I really look forward to what those big things are going to be. For now, I get to go pick up the kids again, and then I get to get ready for a special treat that me and Andrea and her parents are getting tonight. More on that in the next video. Catch y'all on the flippity flop.